Okay, so to make the material that we're going to put into the grow bags, we're going to use egg cartons. And then the thing about the paper egg cartons is that they're edible ink on them, as well as they are unbleached material. We're also going to use some craft paper boxes and some craft brown paper bags. And what we're going to do is I will tear them into hunks. Once I have a bucket full, then I will fill it full of water, and I will show you when I get to that stage. But I'm going to first take them and rip them all up, and then I'll show you the bucket before I add the water. Okay, so we have ripped it up all the material and filled the bucket. If you notice, it's not real small. Don't need it to be tiny. We just need them to get really good and soaked up with moisture. So to that end, we are going to add water. And we'll fill this up until the bucket is right full. Then we'll let it sit for 24 to 48 hours. And then it'll be ready for our usage. Okay, so there we have our buckets full of the craft paper, the egg cartons, a couple of craft boxes, and tomorrow I will cook them off to sterilize them, and then we should be ready to plant oyster mushrooms. Okay, so we have let this sit in the buckets for about 30 hours now, and we just need to take and pasteurize it now. So I'll be moving it over to this pot here, and then I'll heat it up on this burner, bring it to a boil, let it boil for a few minutes, then let it cool, and we'll be ready to grow our mushrooms. I will show you once I've transferred it all and re-topped it up with water, and then we'll bring it to a boil. Okay, so we've now got that pot full. It's on the burner, and we will let it come to a boil. We're going to have to do it in 2 batches. Don't know if you can see. The 1 bucket fit, and about half of the big bucket. So we will bring it to a boil, let it boil, and we'll do it in 2 batches, and I'll come back once I've had the second batch on. Okay, so here we have our egg cartons that have been sterilized and have been cooled. They're still a little warm, but I'm going to mix in my coffee grounds here. And yes, filters and all. Now the coffee grounds will add nutrients to the cardboard, or the pulp. It's really just pulp board. And give them something to grow on. Now, I have special bags, but the purpose of this is to show that you can use anything. Here's a rice bag, and that's what I will be using. And once I get everything prepared, I will come back to you. Okay, so I've chopped up some oyster mushrooms, just bought at the store, and I have my material in my bag. And what we're going to do is just start building layers. So there I've got a layer of my growing medium. Now I'll just take and put in a few oyster mushroom pieces, and then the next layer. And we'll keep doing that back and forth until the bag is nice and full. And so on until the bag is full. Okay, now that we have our bag full and it's been seated, we need to seal it up. Now you could just put a string around here like this, and that would be fine. But I have an impulse sealer, so I'm just going to use it. And the top doesn't matter as much as the bottom, because it is going to be hanging from that. You just want it to be basically sealed. I'll just move it a little bit, hit it again. And there we have it, it's sealed. Okay, so now that we have it to that position, we need to take and make it so that the, see, like I said, it's not that important, it's not airtight on the top. The mushroom mycelium will need to breathe, but we also want spots where they will start to pin. So just take a knife, and I actually have a tool, I couldn't find it in doing this video. I have a piece of lath about 18 inches long, and I've mounted 4 broadhead arrows in there, and then I just slap with it. But this works just as good. If you don't have it, you just make an X cut nice and evenly. Flip it over and do the same to the other side. And there, that one's ready to go. Set it aside. Now I had a bunch left over, so I did have some grow bags, so I filled commercial grow tubes with it. Nice thing about this is it comes in a roll, so you can use as much or as little as you're needing. And so we'll do the same with this. And everywhere that this pins, or that I've put the X's, is where the mushrooms will pin out of. It also helps the mycelia breathe. And sure, just as I start recording, the train starts dinging. Okay, so I will hang both of these for a couple months, and then we will come back to them, and you will see that this will all turn white with the mycelia. And then, if they haven't started pinning, I will give them a bath in a nice cold bath, which will help them start to pin. So I will hang these and we'll get back to it.